Hey everybody, this is Rich and you're with Beekeeping with Rich. This channel probably should be called Foundationless 8-Frame Medium Beekeeping with Rich because that's what I am. I'm a foundationless beekeeper who does everything now in 8-frame mediums. So a few weeks ago I was at a bee club meeting up in West Palm Beach, and we have a raffle and I put in my tickets for a nuke. And I won the nuke. Yay! Of course, it's a deep nuke. Now, this is a South Florida Bee Supply nuke. They're made out of southern pine. They're very well constructed, very well made. It's a superior nuke by all means. But again, it's deep. Now, if you've seen my other videos, I have a bunch of these South Florida Bee Supply nukes, deeps. And rather than cut them down to mediums, because there are going to be times when I'm probably going to have to deal with some deep frames of bees, I've kept them as deeps, but I built a bunch of racks that set inside of them to bring them up to being medium. And those racks have been working beautifully all summer long. The bees have not built, they have not put burr comb to them. They have not built below them. They seem to enjoy them just fine. But to continue to use more and more deeps, I don't really need to. So when this one came in, I decided to make some modifications. So these are my modifications to a standard 5-frame deep nuke. To the lid, nothing. Because I don't use a jar on top of a lid here. I always use a slightly oversized shim that I put a rapid feeder in. What happens next? Well, I got out the table saw and I made the measurements, and I converted this from a deep to a medium. As you can see, the medium frames in there. I took the piece that got cut off and I made an integrated slatted rack. I didn't get fancy. I've noticed with my slatted racks that were drop-in that the bees didn't seem to care about this whole front idea. So all I needed to do was to rip some pieces of fence board, and that's all I use is just fence board, pressure-treated fence board. Not fresh. This is stuff that has been out in the sun and the wind and the rain for years. People tore them down, threw them away, and I came along and went, oh, this piece is straight. Oh, that piece is straight. And I salvaged some of the good straight stuff. Not that the bees really seem to care either way. A couple of strips on the underside. And then cut some pieces the same width as the bottom of a frame. Yeah. And I didn't get all mathematical about it. I basically just put the box on top, set one on the edge, lined up where the first one would go, set it in there, and then just came over 3/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch. Got to the other side, checked on that. I touched everything with glue first, made a few small adjustments. After the glue dried, put a nail in each one of them, and there you go. You went from having an 8-frame deep to an 8-frame medium with an integrated slatted rack. And instead of the solid bottom board, just drill yourself a couple of holes, put some screen on the underside so that you have some ventilation. Because down here, you know, there's a few people in the club who say they're using unventilated bottom boards and they're enjoying them just fine. And I tried some this last spring, but by midsummer there were more bees outside the box than inside the box, and during our heavy afternoon thunderstorms, and I didn't much care for it. So I started cutting holes in the solid bottom boards and putting some screen on them and putting them back under, and the difference was night and day. Tuesday, I've got piles of bees on the outside. Tuesday afternoon, I swap out the bottom boards. Wednesday afternoon, the bees are mostly inside. You can't argue with success. So just drill you a couple of holes, or alternately, drill a small hole and saber saw out a section. The most important thing is that I use the narrow rolls of screen that come for repairing soffits. So, I just keep, if I do that, I would just keep my cut under 4 inches. But for this purpose, a couple holes in the bottom will do it just fine. And that's all this video is ways you can improve. That is making a slatted rack and ventilating your bottom board in a nuke. Point it towards you. Oh, this way. There we go. And everything else, of course, is just accessories. I like to use a Boardman feeder for water on the front, and I like to put a robbing screen set up on there so that if I detect robbing going on, I can close some little doors and the bees can still get out at the top, but they can't go in the front. And if I need to transport them, I can close both doors and walk it on. But you've seen that in other videos. And this is just what and of course the bright Pepto-Bismol pink paint. Well, like everybody else, I go over to Home Depot, and this was exterior grade paint. I was hoping it wasn't this pink, but yeah, it's pretty pink, I'll grant you that. But it is exterior grade latex, so should protect it for a good long time.
Are you going to propolis the inside?
Oh, my wife just asked me if I'm going to propolis the inside, and actually I already have. You don't really see it much. If you'll notice, it's kind of dirty looking through here.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, the inside has been painted with propolis sludge and liquid. I ran across something the other day, not even looking for it, propolis as varnish. And it's like, oh, because I'd already come to the conclusion that, I could probably varnish something with this stuff, the clear liquid. Because that's what real shellac was, is bug parts dissolved in alcohol. This is about the same thing, and I've liked the color that I've gotten on some of the pieces. So I'm probably going to do a little bit of experimentation with that, since I've got plenty of propolis. But yep, that's it. It's a simple little video, but if life gives you a 5-frame deep, hey, make lemonade out of it. Make it into a 5-frame medium with a slatted rack. Nice. Actually, take a close look in there, dear. Look how much of a patio they have underneath there. Look through those slats at the nice, lovely veranda that the bees have to enjoy.
Is there a reason you didn't make them straight?
Yeah, my wife says, is there a reason I didn't make them straight? I don't understand your question.
They're not straight. Front to back, they're oh, when you put it on, it didn't look straight.
Well, that's because this was slightly tilted, dear, that's all.
Okay, so they are straight.
They are straight, yes. Always a critic. Oh, well. So,
there was a secret.
Oh, she thought there was a secret to putting them in slightly slanted. Okay. All right. Well, please like and subscribe. This is Rich. This has been Beekeeping with Rich. Just go out and have fun with your bees. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.